Hi guys, I just wanted to share a story about what happened to me before I got home today from work. So, I was waiting outside for my dad about 10-20 minutes, and it was really cold outside. I was approached by a man, and when that, it was dark outside, it's around 9:30, waiting for my dad, kind of sketchy, and he approached me and he's like, "Excuse me, miss," and I said yes, and he said, "Can he use your phone?" Um, to, he can use your phone, and he was with a boy who I thought was 16, and I had this vivid imagination and very, you know, negative opinion, like judgment of people. It's just the way I was raised and stuff. Be wary, but I talk to strangers anyway. Anyway, um, I thought the kid was just going to grab my phone and run, and go with his accomplice, because anyway, and I said kind of rudely, I was like, "For what?" And he said to call home. And I was like, "Okay." So I thought the kid, would just wait for me to give him my phone. But instead, he surprised me. He actually opened up a notebook that he had with him, and he pointed to his number. And I was confused. So anyway, I dialed the number for him, and I gave him my phone. Um, anyway, so it was really weird because when you use this is my phone, by the way. When you use a phone, right? You have like a way of holding it and stuff. You know how to hold a phone. This kid did not know how to hold the phone. Like, it was really weird. Like, he kept adjusting his fingers and stuff. I don't know. Anyway, he had it on his. He was listening to it, and then I guess when the voice hit, he gave it back to me. Like, he thrusted my phone back to me, and I heard like long distance didn't connect, and I was like, okay. Anyway, during this time, that guy that he was with, he left. Like, I saw him kind of look at me, and then he kind of left. I wasn't paying attention to him though. Anyway, so at this time I did not know that he was giving me a responsibility, or like passing on the responsibility to me. Um, anyway, so I thought this kid would understand me, so I said it's the long distance number. It didn't connect, and he just kind of looked at me, and I was like, "Is that your at home?" And he said yes, and I'm like, "Who is this? Like, what's this number?" And he's like, "It's my house phone," and I was like, "Okay," and I was like, "All right." I don't know what to do. So I figured movie night, right? I was okay. I directed him to the movie. I was like, "You know where it is, right?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "I want you to go inside and talk to someone in there, like one of the employees." But I guess I was, too much words or something. He wasn't. I realized that he wasn't very good with English, and he seemed younger than he was. Um, anywho, I didn't. But then I realized that I was like, "Oh crap! It's Tuesday." I was like, "It's movie night. There's gonna be a bunch of people. It's gonna be a mayhem in there. He's not gonna be able to talk to anybody. Hold up a line. People get angry. I don't want him to get scared." So I asked him. I was like, "Would your parents, would your mom be okay with you being in a cab and like being driven in a cab home? She would come down, like, or she would come out, and then and she would pay for the cab. Would she be okay with that, right?" And I said, no, sorry. He said he said he wasn't sure. So then I had to ask him again, and he's just because I thought he didn't understand the question, but he wasn't sure. So I went up to the cab and tried to explain the situation to him and everything. The cab said it was the address, because the kid remembered his address. That it wouldn't work that way because it's in an apartment building, and I was like, I didn't really think much of it. And he looks at me, he's just like, "We can't do it," and I was like, "Okay," and then he just like. The taxi driver just added more. I know it's business and everything. He didn't have to be a jerk about it. He just, oh my gosh, anyway. So I was really confused at this point. I didn't know what to do. And I don't know. I was really worried. I was like, how is he gonna get home? And I asked him. I was like, "Wait, how did you get here to the mall, right?" And I asked, I was like, "Did you bus? Did you walk? Did you drive?" And then I had to ask him a couple more times, and he said, "Oh yeah, he bused." And I said, what were you here for?" He said, "Good life." But then there was a line or something. He didn't, it took long. He went to wait. Then anyway, I asked him, I was like, "How long have you been waiting out here?" Because he was waiting on, and he had a runny nose. He said 5 hours. I was shocked, and I didn't know whether he understood what 5 hours was. He's not. I don't think he's stupid in any way. Like English, people who are not from Canada. By the way, he's from Somalia. He's been living here for 2 months. So anyway, anyway, uh, so, he bused here and he wasn't 5 hours 6. Sorry, I forgot what I was talking about. I had to I had to stress the fact that 5 hours was a lot of time, right? And he understood, and I was really shocked. I was like, why didn't you go inside? He said he didn't know that he should go inside, and I felt really really sad. Anyway, so then I called my dad, who was on his way, and I explained the situation to him. He was totally cool. We drove him home, went to the apartment building, and he pointed it out, and I was like, okay. I walked him to the door, but I didn't go up to his floor with him, because it's not because I was scared or anything. I really didn't know what to do or say. Like I knew what I was gonna say, but I didn't know that it was appropriate to say it. I don't know. It was cool though. He got home safely. It was nice. I'm glad that we were able to be the ones to do that for him. Another thing is that I told it. So I got home. I told my mom about it. My mom kind of freaked out. Oh my gosh, she's worried about me, blah blah blah. But she understands where I'm coming from though, because back then with my mom and my dad before I was born, one time there was a woman and her baby. And her stroller. She was at a bus stop, and there was a snowstorm. It was really horrible. My mom told my dad to stop the car and tell her they helped the woman and her child get in the car, and then my dad drove her home. So my mom knows where I'm coming from. She's just worried. Anyway. Whole point of the story is that I'm glad. I feel horrible that he had to be in that situation, but I'm glad that my dad was late. I'm glad that the guy dumped that kid on me. I'm glad it was movie night, and I'm glad that taxi was a jerk. That taxi guy was a jerk. Not all taxi guys were jerk. I'm just saying that that particular one was. Okay, don't judge everybody just by one person. Okay, don't do that. But I'm glad because of that, because I was able to do that for him. It's not just satisfy my own ego or anything like that whatsoever. I'm just saying that doing something for someone like that, it's really really nice. I'm not saying go grab somebody off the stray or anybody, and drive them home. I'm just saying that, help out your fellow man. Even though I was really sketchy at first and I sound really hypocritical and contradicting right now, but I got over it, and helped that kid home. I felt weird though. He's 13, I'm 19. I felt like, oh my god. I'm like, if my dad wasn't driving and I was driving, I was like, oh my gosh, I am, the age difference, that's creepy. Anyway, so I'm just wanting to share with you what happened to home, and, if you were interested in listening, thank you for watching all of this.